proud of me. I'm being pretty consistent with these weekly uploads. Anyway, this week I have quite a few yummy keto recipes for you. I have some keto Noatmeal, I have some eggplant lasagna, and I have chicken two ways. I'm also just finishing up, and I showed this recipe in my egg fast video, but I've also got some egg fast muffins, and this time I did something a little different with them, and I put some banana extract in them, so they taste like yummy banana muffins. So excited to try those. So yeah, this is just going to serve as like a little intro. I will go back and show you the last week's worth of recipes now, and make sure you stay tuned for next week's upload, because I'm going to be doing the 60-hour keto reboot starting March 10th, and I'm going to film my whole experience. So it'll be my first time documenting that on YouTube, so I'm super stoked. The reboot is a 60-hour fast where I will not be eating. I will just be drinking the supplements in the kit. So I can't wait to share that with you. I've done it twice before, had kick-ass results, like 6 pounds and 5 inches off my waist during my first one, and 5 inches and 5 pounds during my second one. So super stoked to do that again and share that with you guys. So let's get started with the video.
So I thought I would film my neat little post-workout snack. It's also amazing for breakfast or even dessert. It is my keto Noatmeal, and I get asked about it so often because people are looking for a keto oatmeal swap out, and this, in my opinion, is even better. So in this pan right here, I'm going to bring to a simmer all of this. Oh, our power just went out, and it came back on and off again. Okay, and our power is now officially out. We have had some like high winds and weird weather going on here in West Virginia. No worries, I have a gas stove, so the Noatmeal is still on. I've got a flash on my phone, so yeah. What we've got here is 2 tablespoons of each of these 4 seeds. Flax seeds that were whole, but I ground them in my coffee grinder right before the power went out. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, and pumpkin seeds. I did 2 tablespoons each, so that equaled a half a cup for 4 different kinds of seeds at 2 tablespoons each. You don't have to use all 4 of these kinds of seeds. As long as you have ground flax or chia, it will thicken up. And I did it with twice as much cashew milk, so 1 cup of cashew milk. I always do twice as much liquid because it will thicken up like crazy. I added in a dash of cinnamon, a spoon of, this is a sweetener I've been using right now, I really like. It's monkfruit golden sweetener. It's like a brown sugar substitute. A splash of vanilla extract, and a tablespoon's worth of these cocoa butter wafers. They are an amazing source of healthy fat, and they give it a really nice cocoa flavor and smell. So basically, this is just already starting to thicken up, you can see. So I'll just let that go until it gets a little thicker, and I will show you what else I add to it. Alright guys, this is what it looks like. Basically, I just let the oatmeal thicken up for a couple minutes on the stovetop, and then I removed it from the heat and stirred in a scoop of collagen. This is the one I'm using right now. It's just like an unflavored from Walmart. I like it. And then I topped it with about, 2 tablespoons or so of walnuts, and a few tablespoons of frozen blackberries, and a few tablespoons of unsweetened coconut chips. And finally, a drizzle of my favorite keto-friendly, sugar-free choczero maple vanilla syrup. It's amazing. So that's what it looks like. And no, I probably will not be able to eat all of this. It's huge. So normally what I do is I love these bowls. They have a lid that pops on. And I will probably eat half of it, pop a lid on it, eat the other half tomorrow. All right, and that's it. Yes, the power is still off, and whatever. The show must go on, right? I'll see you next time.
New day, new video. I'm going to make something I've never made before, so I wanted to share it with you and show you how I make it. It's going to be an eggplant lasagna, and my eggplant is going to be my noodles. So I'm going to peel these babies and slice them into long, thin slices and bake them in a little olive oil, garlic powder, salt and pepper at a 400-degree heat in the oven on parchment for about 7 minutes on each side. And then I'm going to layer it up with sauce, cheese, and maybe some meat. I think I will. I'll probably season up some ground beef and do a meaty lasagna. So I will show you step by step how I throw this together. I've got the eggplant broken down, peeled, thinly sliced. I've got 2 big trays of it. And what I did was I drizzled it with olive oil. And eggplant, if you've never worked with it before, is like a sponge. Like you can see where it soaked the olive oil up where I drizzled it. I tried to kind of rub it around and it had already soaked into it. So no worries. And then I added some salt and garlic powder, flipped it over, did the same thing to the other side. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm going to bake this, I'd say maybe like 7 to 10 minutes, and then I'll flip it and do it 7 to 10 more on the other side, because undercooked eggplant is no bueno. You want to make sure it's cooked through. So I will show you what it looks like when I take it out, and then we'll use it in place of lasagna. And while my eggplant is cooking in the oven, I am browning a pound of 80/20 ground beef in a pan with kind of like my holy grail Italian seasonings, which are crushed red pepper, onion powder, pink salt, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. And the sauce I'm going to be using for the lasagna is Raoul's homemade tomato basil sauce. Raoul's is kind of like the keto holy grail, because it doesn't have added sugar like a lot of tomato sauces do. It's kind of just tomatoes, olive oil, and spices. All right, the eggplant is out of the oven. Some of it's brown, some of it's just kind of cooked through, but it will all be good. I've got my ground beef that is browned up here. I've got my sauce, and I've spooned a little tiny bit in the bottom of the pan. That'll keep it from sticking. And I've got some shredded mozzarella, so I'm going to start layering. I've got a couple of layers down. I started with a layer of eggplant, and then a spoon of beef, a spoon of sauce, and a sprinkle of cheese. And then I just repeat it, and every time I start a new layer, I try to lay the eggplant perpendicular. So I'll lay it horizontally one time, vertically the next time, and so forth. And that helps it kind of stay together when you slice it. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. She is done. I just pulled it out of the oven. I got several layers there. I used the whole pound of ground beef, almost all of the 2 eggplants, and almost a whole jar of Raoul's tomato basil marinara, and quite a bit of cheese. So it's pretty tall. So I'll probably get, 6 or so servings out of this, because it's a very deep dish. But yeah, I will wait till it cools and maybe show you what it looks like then. But here's the eggplant keto lasagna. It is pretty easy to make, and it sure looks tasty. And this is what the finished product looks like, the eggplant lasagna. Super cheesy, the layers stayed nice, and it looks delicious. Saturday, I'm gonna do some meal prep today, so I'll kind of walk you through what I'm doing. First of all, I'm just going to bake off some chicken breasts for a tarragon almond chicken salad. So I've seasoned up a few breasts with pink salt, garlic and onion powder, and going to cover it with foil and pop it in the oven. Going to check on it in like 20 minutes and see where it is, and then maybe flip it and do it a little more depending on where we're at. I will keep you filled. I just pulled those chicken breasts out of the oven. I gave them 30 minutes. They are cooked through. From keeping the foil over them, they're nice and juicy. I'm going to let these cool completely, because these are going to be for the tarragon almond chicken salad. Loud, so I will talk louder, but this is the other half of my 5-pound pack of chicken. The first 2.5 pounds I made the baked chicken for the chicken salad. The others are seasoned with Tony's Cajun Creole seasoning, and in the Instant Pot that is on saute with a couple tablespoons of olive oil in it. I've got a cup of mini bell peppers, a cup of mushrooms, a half of an onion, and a couple of garlic cloves. And I don't know why that's in there, a stem. Anyway, I'm going to stir this around and brown it for just a couple minutes. And then I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients in and slam the lid down to pressure cook it. So I'll show you what else I add in this. For just a couple minutes, stir it around, brown the chicken on both sides, and then I have added a whole 28-ounce can of stewed tomatoes with the juice, a half cup of white cooking wine, a cup of celery, a half of a jalapeno diced up, and a bay leaf, and then just a little rosemary, paprika, more Tony's, salt and pepper, And now I'm gonna give that a good stir, and I hit the cancel button on the saute function. It's still just kind of bubbling along from the heat, but I'm gonna switch it over to a high pressure cook and seal the vent and let it go 20 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like. And why the Creole chicken is in the Instant Pot, I thought I'd show you that this is the Tony's Cajun Creole seasoning that I use. It's kind of a staple in our house. I grew up on it. It's kind of got your mixture of hot pepper, paprika, and spices and salt and everything all mixed in. So it's just a great kind of all-around seasoning. And then I'm going to serve my Creole chicken with a bag of Green Giant riced cauliflower. Super easy. You just throw it in the microwave and cook it like 5 or 6 minutes, and that's it. And you can season up or add a little butter or whatever else you want, but it's awesome with the Creole chicken kind of with its juice poured down over it. It's amazing. Or if you're not keto, you could serve it with regular rice, but it's great either way. I'm going back to the tarragon almond chicken salad. The chicken that I baked originally is cold, so what I'm going to do is cube it up. I'm going to add some Duke's mayo, some tarragon, and some sliced almonds. Probably season it up with a little salt and pepper. I've still got a couple more breasts over here to chop up. I'm just going to combine it all in a big bowl, and I'll let you know the proportions of everything that I use. Like I said, I've got about 2 to 2.5 pounds of chicken here. So I'll let you know about how much mayo and almonds and seasonings I use to make it come out perfectly. Guys, I have combined the 2.5-ish pounds of chopped cooked chicken breast. I did a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, any kind you like is fine. I did a teaspoon of dried tarragon leaves, a 1/2 cup of the sliced almonds, or you could use slivered. I just couldn't find them at my store yesterday. And then just a good sprinkling of pink salt. I didn't add any pepper because I didn't want to overpower the tarragon flavor, but you could definitely add some pepper or any other things you would like to this. And that's it. I'm going to pop this into a container and chill it. And then if it seems kind of dry or something after I refrigerate it, I might stir in a little bit more mayo, but right now it looks perfect. So that's the tarragon almond chicken salad. Released the steam. I did a natural release, and then I, about 10 minutes later, just let the rest of the steam release automatically by turning the valve to venting, and then I opened it up and it has formed like a really nice juice. The chicken is falling apart in just 20 minutes, and there's lots of juice to pour over some cauliflower rice, and it looks amazing. So you can serve this with like cilantro or parsley on top, or any way you please. So that is the Cajun Creole chicken. So that is chicken 2 ways with a 5-pound package of chicken breasts. Look how perfect they look, how smooth and golden. This is the egg loaf muffins for the keto egg fast, or anytime, but they are the perfect egg to butter to cheese ratio if you would like to use it for an egg fast. And I did it this time in silicone baking cups, and you can see they're starting to sink a little bit in the middle. When they first come out, they'll be puffy, but then they will droop, and that's normal. They'll still taste awesome, but they look amazing. Great, and that is this week's keto recipes. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions. I am leaving all of the recipes and links for anything discussed in the video in the description box. Also, ways to connect with me on Facebook and join my keto culture community, where I share a free meal plan with recipes every single day, and all of my meal plans and recipes as well. And there's thousands of other awesome keto people sharing their journeys too, so make sure you join. Link is below in description box, and my African Gray Callaway is right there. And also today we had a freak snowstorm in West Virginia. That's why I am home on a Monday, because my kiddos' school got canceled. I will show you. We're in the midst of a snowstorm here in March, so yeah, it's kind of odd. But again, make sure you stay tuned for next week's upload, where I share my 60-hour keto reboot experience and before and afters with you. And I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and help me keep doing these videos. All right? Thanks. Bye.